Hi, and welcome to Book Impressions, a channel where I will give you my impression on a book's cover, blurb, reviews, and tell you a little about the author. If you like this kind of content, I hope you will consider subscribing. So let's begin.
Hi, and welcome to Book Impressions. In this episode, we will be looking at the book Prophecy, the Owens Chronicles, Book 1. So it's obviously a series. And it's written by Lynn Petrin. I hope I pronounced that right. If I didn't, I apologize. This cover, I really like it a lot. I can see this beautiful font for the title. And it has those beautiful colors I always talk about. It really pops at you. I like the spacing of all the fonts from the title to the actual book 1 to the author being down below. I think it's a very well balanced book cover and I like it a whole lot. I love the image. So let's go over and look at the blurb and see if it matches up to the cover. It says, "He's been hunting my family since the 1600s. Now he's after me. 18-year-old Lucy Owens is that weird Owens girl to the entire New England town she grew up in. She dreams of starting fresh at college in the fall. But prom night changes things. A mysterious threat forces her into hiding and leaves her fighting for her life against an army of gifted, a subset of humans with supernatural abilities who don't die until their job is done. She discovers that Embry and Gabriel, two friends of the family, are also gifteds, who claim their job is to protect Lucy's line. But as she gets to know them and her family's history better, she wonders if their ultimate goal is to keep her safe or to stop the man who's after her. Prophecy is a coming-of-age supernatural novel by Lynn Petrin. If you like strong heroines who keep fighting no matter how many times they're knocked down, then you'll love this paranormal adventure." Interesting blurb. It's obviously a young adult book, and there's obviously a lot going on, which would explain why it's a series. So let's go and look at some of the reviews on what people are thinking that read this book. And as of January the 12th of 2022, there are 239 ratings. It has 4 stars total rating. Well, they actually have a 4.2 total rating. Okay, 5 stars is 49%. 4 stars have 28%, 3 stars 16%, 2 stars 3%, and 1 star 3%. Let's read 5 stars and some of the headings and see what people think. Okay, with 5 stars being the best you can give a book, here's what some people said. Very interesting, an original story. Great read. Great book. Not bad. So obviously those 5 stars, these people obviously liked it a lot. Let's look at the 4 stars. Okay, 4 stars. Interesting new take. Interesting read. Okay. Good read. Definitely suggest reading. Great read. You have to wonder why these people didn't give her 5 stars. Okay. Let's look at 3 stars. This is where we find our constructive criticism. People who either like the book or they don't like the book, but they have some suggestions. An interesting storyline. The gifted to the rescue. Characters lack depth. Obviously, they think the characters needed a look. Okay, let's look at some 2 stars and see what these people think. These are usually people who can't quite decide whether they're going to read this series or not. So let's see what's going on. They didn't want to give it a 3 star, but they think it has some kind of potential. Okay, this person says slower than molasses in winter. So obviously this person thinks this book drags, so there might be a pacing issue. It says, good premise, blah execution. What can I say? This book was just, well, boring. Okay, interesting. Let's look at 1 star. 1 star is usually people who don't read in your genre. They either got the book and then they discover, nah, this isn't for me. And here's it, and here's that one that said it. Not my cup of tea. You can see it's not their genre. Let's find out about Amanda Lynn Petrin books. Let's see if she has the whole series out here. Because sometimes when people start series and they don't finish them, readers don't like that. But let's see if she finished it. Well, it looks like she did. Okay, we see Prophecy, Book 1. And then we see Destiny, which is Book 2. And Legacy, which is Book 3. So this is obviously a trilogy because we see the complete trilogy. You could buy this book and get all 3 books in the one book. So that's kind of nice. Also, if you look at Prophecy as of January the 12th of 2022, this book is free on Kindle, so you can read the first book and decide whether you want to read the other 2 books. But let's find out about Amanda Lynn Petrin. Let's read her autobiography and see who she is. Okay, this is a photo of her. She has a blog, and I noticed that it says, how much does it cost to self-publish? So she obviously self-published this series, and she looks like she has these 3 books. She also has some other books. Shards of Glass, a book called Legacy, First Life, Second Chance. She actually has quite a few books here. So she's obviously a self-published author that likes to write. You might want to check out some of her other books if you're interested. Like she put this in another language, this series. So that's interesting. I always find it interesting when an author decides to put it in another language. But let's read her autobiography. It says Amanda Lynn Petrin is a writer, actress, producer who grew up in the South Shore of Montreal and currently lives in Toronto. Growing up, she wrote books she wanted to turn into movies and act in someday. She writes, produces, and stars in multiple short films and published her first book, Shards of Glass, which is right here, on August 9th. Okay, so we can see that she is an author who is not just a writer, but she says she's an actress and a producer, so I'm very impressed by that. Anyway, if you are interested in Prophecy, and like I said, it is free right now as of this day that I told you, I will put the link down in the description, and you can go check it out, and you can check out any of our other books if you're interested. So with all that in mind, this is Book Impressions. Until next time, signing off.